for the Sterling Yan fight? Did you say Yan?
I went with Yan with you because we were picking fighters from white countries.
Yeah, I went with the other guy.
White countries.
Yeah,
that's how you pick your fighters.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh yeah.
You didn't know that?
Yeah.
What about you? Who'd you pick? You
I
picked
picked the other
Sterling?
guy. Yeah.
And Adesanya?
Yes. And Amanda Nunes.
Yeah. What about you?
I said Yan.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. All right, good.
Did you?
Well, you were wrong. I was wrong. He was wrong.
No.
He was right. Sterling won.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Sterling won.
I mean, officially,
he didn't win.
He walked away with that fight with a loss.
He didn't. He didn't.
Petter has an extra loss on his record now.
We'll talk about the fight. I just want to get. I didn't remember who. I didn't know if you picked Yan or if you picked Yan.
I wanted.
I knew somebody had picked. Sterling.
I think I told Joe that I wanted Sterling.
Right.
Of course.
And Tim is wondering why.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Because he had a high top fade. I was a kid. And I was a kid and play fan.
Now wait.
Yeah, that is what you said.
If Peter Yan had a high top fade.
Oh yeah, then I would have went back.
Rex Chapman vibes.
Rex Chapman.
Wow. Chapman. He had a high top fade.
I know. I'm just saying. Wow, it's a good call.
So the Anderson Nunes fight. Did everybody see it? Did you see it?
I saw it.
You saw it?
Yeah, I did.
You watched the fights?
I went back last night and watched highlights.
Oh
highlights.
My God.
Yeah,
I mean, that fight was a highlight.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
I read about them.
So you haven't seen the Yan Sterling fight?
I've not watched highlights and read it.
But you didn't see the block.
You got to watch it though.
I think I got a good idea, and I have some data to back up my ideas.
Okay. Oh, you brought your own data.
I did.
Yeah.
So which fight is this for?
Fact sheet.
All of them that we're going to talk about.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
He got land percentages, all kinds. Power shot percentages. Oh shit.
So go on.
Well, why did you bring that? Like, what do you?
This is what being prepared for an episode is like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. This is kind of new to you.
So there, we had a question. So I'm going to bounce back and forth because some of the questions relate to some of the topics. So here's a question from Hugo her, the Hellfish.
Is your guy?
Yeah.
Oh, what up, Hugo?
He wants to know from all of us, could any of us win in a fight against Amanda Nunes?
Yes.
How would you beat her? What would your game plan be?
Boredom. I would bore her to death.
Bro,
It's not a fight.
Are you being serious? Is this a real question?
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I would likely out-grapple her.
I doubt it.
Are you serious?
Okay.
So let's.
Hold on.
So you don't think you do well?
I would
against her,
destroy it.
Oh, okay. All right.
I just said she would fuck you guys.
Hold on, wait.
Okay.
Hold on. I really need to see. It's hard because watching her through the TV, it looks like she'll knock.
Do I have to
dudes
make her
out.
wait?
The weight.
Your man always coming in with the shit, son.
Bro,
how could he?
Come on.
You think you?
Yes.
So this is the thing: is that you think you could get her down without getting fucked up?
I don't even think I would need to get her down.
For real?
Yeah, she'd lay down.
Hold on. Are you serious? We can't take her down?
Yeah.
No,
he doesn't think you can
without getting fucked up. It's like without.
Nah,
son.
Yeah, I would take her down.
Yeah.
Bro.
I know how I'd win.
Rondane single?
No, I think she would fuck all you guys up.
No. Let me say this.
Listen. Hold on.
There's a different.
I would give
Yeah,
Dev
I'd get
out of
chipped up.
everybody here. Dev would have the most chance other than me
Because of his explosiveness and
No, because
power.
he has wrestling experience. He can take a shot on the outside.
I wrestled in high school.
You don't shoot though.
Bro, how could
you don't have
Ask
an
your
outside
man.
shot?
Not with your hip.
You're saying that basically
You mean now?
You're saying
with his current hip or with his youthful hip?
It doesn't even
Even
matter.
in his prime.
hold on, you're saying on like just a single leg, double leg, whatever, right? She's going to be able to like knock me out.
No,
with
he
punches
said that
from
you
here.
can take her down.
No, I'm just making sure. Like, what's the pot? Where is this person? Where is she going to stop me
with her hands? She would, if you guys were to box her, she would fuck all of you.
Oh yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a super
I disagree
fact.
with that.
No, but for me, yes. For me, yes.
For you,
she would.
When's the last time you hit anything?
It's been long.
No, she would knock me.
In the greater context of things,
she would knock me the fuck
she wouldn't
out for sure.
No.
But if we're just fighting,
how much? What does she fight at? 145.
45.
When's the last time you got knocked out by a 145-pound man?
I never got knocked out by dudes that I thought that was 250.
Okay,
right. So you could, I would say, look at her versus Cyborg. Cyborg is just about a man, like hormonally. her endocrine system is the endocrine
All
system
right.
of a man. Her structure is that of a man.
Mm.
And you saw what she did to
The comments and thoughts of
her.
Tim Comforter are not
I know,
the
right?
reflection
Man,
of the
this is
rest of the members
amazing.
of
What
the
happens
Ninja
when
Hop.
you prepare a show, like when you really sit down and you
Well,
think
I
about what.
genuinely wanted to know what you guys would.
No.
You think you would beat Amanda Nunes?
Yes.
Yeah, I would, and I know.
No, I know
I would.
if we're
I
in
know
a
exactly how I
real
would do it.
fight,
Yeah.
I'm beating Amanda Nunes,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
not saying
no
that I
que-
won't get
Hold on,
like
so-
in my current state.
So
I'm not-
Amanda Nunes, you think is really taking like real punches from like a real grown man that's really just like
200 pounds.
like really
I think she could. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
No, he didn't ask you if you think
an untrained punch.
to the face.
Wait, but
No,
like
we're not-
from
none of
you
us
guys.
are untrained.
This
though.
is terrible.
We're not untrained.
Yeah,
really.
this
Hold on, just
Nah.
period.
Well, I
Just
know how
a
to do it.
grown man's
I know how to
force
do
to the chin. Bong. Right there. She's just gonna be cool with it.
So
I mean,
either,
four rounds
so
gloves?
any of us could.
No gloves.
We can hit her with our best shot, and she's gonna look at us
That's
like,
not how fights go.
okay,
You don't
Tell
go into a
us,
fight
tell us.
saying,
no, because I don't know. I mean, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fucking just.
Do you
kinda
think she's
roll
stronger?
into
Do
her-
you think she's
I'm trying to
stronger
roll
than
her
us?
ankle.
So if we're wrestling around,
Man,
you-
I'm gonna roll your ankle.
how
That's
does
gonna become a
Amanda
fucking-
Nunes stop me from
Right.
from literally throwing her
no,
across
so
the
I
room?
said
That's a
you
good
have the
question.
best chance.
But any of them, to be fair, come
Yeah.
on, bro.
I'm
Nah,
So
just
you're
I'm
saying
gonna-
because of my bad shoulder, this is what's holding me back?
These guys have some physical limitations that you don't have.
I'm 48 years old.
Yeah, he's old.
Hold on, why did you say it like
This guy.
No, I would. Nah. I know exactly
All
what
right.
you.
So we'll
I would
move
just
on.
I would just try to roll into her
Yeah,
legs
I
and
beat
hurt
her.
her so she can
Huh?
leave. I would get
I
DQ.
win that fight.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying I wouldn't get hit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be easy, but again, you
Hold on,
Oh,
check this out.
yes,
Does this make
Tim.
sense? But I don't think I could beat Chris Cyborg. I don't. It is.
Okay. Do you think you beat Cyborg?
that's not the question.
So you can't beat Chris Cyborg.
I didn't say
I'm
that.
asking you now.
No, I refuse to answer this question.
Okay. That says more.
It's something scary about her. I don't know what it is.
You know who
Yeah,
wasn't
what-
scared of her?
Amanda Nunes.
Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
So, all right, we'll move on.
Yeah.
All right, next big fight, Yan versus Sterling. What were your thoughts? Let's hear the stats.
So, well, my thoughts on the fight or the thoughts on the outcome?
Well, you didn't see the fight, so let's hear the stats.
I'm not sure.
Why don't- why don't
I'm
you
not
tell
sure.
us-
I'm not
okay,
sure how to proceed.
So I know you read someone else's opinion,
And
of
then
the
I watched
fight.
a highlight
So why
video.
don't you tell us what other people told you about the fight? And then we'll go off that. And then
Yeah.
you can read your fucking bullshit stats.
Bullshit stats.
Yeah.
Brother,
Okay.
women lie, men lie.
Yeah.
Numbers
yeah,
don't lie.
Exactly. Liars figure,
Numbers
but
don't
figures,
lie all the time.
no,
actually.
liars figure, but figures don't lie.
There you go.
So,
All right, so what'd you think of the fight?
from what I saw and what I read, it sounded like Petter, whatever his fucking name is, was going to win the decision, and that Aljamain's the tactics he was using clearly weren't working for him. Because if we're looking at stats, he was 1 for 17 on takedown attempts, right? And even watching the highlights, it looked like the takedowns. Petr Yan was 7 for 7. Aljamain trying to get takedowns could only get 1 out of 17. Petr Yan not trying to get takedowns, but using the opportunity to get them. So that was when I was watching. I go, he wasn't going for takedowns; he was getting takedowns.
Yeah.
And the control was maybe like 40 or 50 seconds difference in control, but activity, you could see why Sterling was fading towards the end of the fight because he was very active in the beginning few rounds, and then towards the end he faded. What I didn't like about what he was doing is that he was very sticky with his boxing, so his punches would stay out to try and get into his wrestling, and that
This is what you think, not what you read.
let me go back.
Okay.
What I think
Okay.
is
Based
what I
on
said.
what you read.
And what I saw is the way he was sticking his punches out to try and get his takedowns was working against him because Petr was able to counter him. And man, the guy hits hard and he kicks well. And if you even if you hadn't seen the fight and you look at the stats and don't know the outcome, you go, Petr Yan wins this fight based on control, the takedowns, that kind of thing. The outcome of it is the part that kind of bothers me a little bit.
We'll get to that.
Hold on,
Yeah.
before that part though, what did the scorecard say?
I think Sterling was ahead on one card.
Oh, he was? Okay.
Yeah, he was.
And they
It
were
was-
only in what round?
It was so it was 2-1. Two judges had a 2-1 for Yan. One judge had a 2-1 for Sterling. So, what were your thoughts on the fight?
just the same. As I was watching, I was like, yeah, this, Sterling's not going to win this. This is over. So, and then you had the end. That was all I thought.
I mean, there was nothing he could do with him. He
all the
didn't
stuff
know what
Marco
he
was
was doing.
saying
It was like I could see, even in the round that like I could say Sterling might have won the first round because he had just a lot of activity, and it looked like Yan was just kind of like covering up, waiting for his opportunity. Because as soon as Yan threw something, he knocked him down. So like even in the first round, Sterling was very active, but Yan was way more effective, and that was kind of like how it was throughout the whole fight.
But what I couldn't understand,
the stats show that.
Why was he punching
Yeah,
like that?
higher level of efficiency.
Why was he punching like that though?
He's just trying to overwhelm him.
But he wasn't.
Couldn't.
He wasn't. But it was like he didn't even go half strength. It really looked like all of his punches were play around. He had some slaps, in there.
He's not a power guy.
Yeah, but why not something like he wasn't?
He might have been intimidated. Like sometimes if you get in with somebody who's like a way better striker than you, you become gun shy.
Are we talking about Sterling not getting behind his punches?
It like not at all though. Like I've seen people like they say Mayweather will touch you with it, but he looked like he's not committing to it at all.
But if the game plan is to take him down, and if you commit to all of your strikes, then it's going to be harder to get in for that takedown if that's what your tactics and your game plan is. So that's why I was saying him sticking his punches out there was part of his entries for his takedowns, which he was 1 for 17, clearly didn't work for him.
Yeah, I think it's also the like I think a good part of it was he felt like Peter Yan was setting him up for stuff because Yan just kind of like shelled up and let him throw on him a lot. And I think he was worried like a little bit about getting like lured into a trap. He was just
where's he from?
I think he's Russian, right?
Yeah,
Ukrainian?
Another Russian?
Yeah. And somebody said before this happened, I think it might have been Rogan. He was like, "This is one of the meanest guys," and he called him a mean. He's like, he's a mean person.
Talking about Petr Yan?
Yes, he said he's a mean person. This is before what transpired.
Have you ever met anybody from that part of the world? I haven't met a lot of Russians, but the ones that I have, they're not on the surface pleasant or happy. You joke with them, and you think
they're like a lot of different people that in certain parts of Africa are like that too. Very robotic and honest with what they think too.
They're
like
blunt. They're very blunt.
super. Yeah,
a lot of Europeans
and stoic. Like they just don't.
Eastern Europeans, Western Europeans are very vibrant and nice,
overly emotional, almost feminine.
Yo,
this guy.
I know. Tim's still bitter about you making the analogy that Africans and Russians are the same.
Oh, that's what it was.
Why was
that? For no reason.
Two great countries with.
Oh, Africa's a country now.
That was kind of what.
Ladies and gentlemen, there we go. That's
what I wanted to say.
Americans really think.
I should say
It's a big country.
Yeah.
Pretty big country.
Do you speak African?
Do you speak African? Oh man.
All your preparation.
Well, the problem is they have almost the same landmass. Russia and
there's no way you could salvage the mistakes you made. Just move on. Just ignore it like your former president would.
That's far from true.
So what did you think about the finish, the way it ended?
So I think that I thought this was an original thought. Then I listened to Burning the Boats with Kai Serm, and he said exactly the same thing that I thought, is that I agree with the disqualification. I actually even agree with Aljamain sitting, even if he was faking it. Like, hey, get the title, you get the title, you get the new championship contract, you get points on the next pay-per-view you're on. Like a lot changes for a guy. But stepping back from that, I would think moving forward that if a disqualification happens, should be a loss for the fighter that caused the foul, should be a win on his record for the fighter that, received the foul, but the title should be vacated and it should cause an automatic rematch.
So I completely agree with that. And I said that as well when Joe Rogan said you shouldn't be able to switch, that you shouldn't be able to win the title. Right. He was like, you shouldn't be able to win the title, but it can't be WWE, where in WWE, the bad guy would just cheat. And then it would be a DQ. He gets to keep the belt, or else dudes would just throw a knee to get disqualified on purpose to maintain their title. So I think it being vacated makes the most sense. And I think that
it's still a loss, it's still a win, but it's not enough for you to get the championship.
I like the rematch.
Automatic rematch.
I think that's a good move. That's a sharp thing.
That's a super good one. And I think that if I'm Aljamain, I knew he was going to throw the belt on the floor before they gave him the belt because he fucking has to. He's not that dumb. He knows he has to be like, I don't want to win it like that. Yeah. I would have went further. I'd have fucked around, and this might not be the best thing for your career. I'd have fucked around and vacated the belt because I'd have vacated the belt.
No, I would have left the belt.
No,
I wouldn't have vacated the contract.
Yeah, so that's what I don't know how the contract works. That's my thing. Because what happens too is when they fight again, which they are, the same thing is going to happen. He's going to be forever a fucking paper champion. I feel like it's worse. Like when people are like, you were a fucking fake ass paper champion who took the belt by pretending you were fucking hurt. This is what they're going to say. I would rather be like, no, I'm really hurt. No, I'm real hurt, but I don't want that title. I'll vacate that shit. I would separate myself so people could say, yo, homie, he really a stand-up guy because he literally gave the belt back because he said I don't deserve it.
Well, let me have it. So is that what they think he jazzed it up in order to get the DQ?
Well, so
he caught a square knee to the dome,
and so does everybody on one championship. I watched that; they do it every fight.
When I saw him talk about no, I didn't want to win it that way, it seemed pretty legit. Like he didn't want to win it in that way, and then.
But then he's out partying with the belt.
What did Rogan say? But Rogan said to him, "It's not your fault." So maybe in a short amount of time, he was like, "All right, fuck it. It's not my fault. I'll do it this way."
To me, it seemed like I think he definitely made the right decision.
Yes, from a career standpoint, yes.
Okay. And and I think he handled it the wrong way. He shouldn't have acted hurt because I think he was definitely hurt, but I think he was hamming it up.
He was hurt because he got hit in the face.
And like he might, he was hurt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He was rocked, and I bet if that was any other fight, he probably would have kept going. Like it wasn't a championship fight, maybe it was like a 3-rounder, and he felt like he could have still had a chance.
Or if he was in a different
round. If it was a 3-rounder, it wouldn't have happened.
Right, I get it.
But if it happened in another league, he would have just got kneed in his face and kept fighting or lost like they do over there.
I don't think we're going to have fun this episode.
I think what he should have done is he should have just been like, you know what? He hit me with a legal shot. Fuck him. I'm taking the belt. We'll do it again. Like he should have just like,
we'll run it back.
Yeah, he should have, but he should have been like, he'd be like, I'm taking his money. I'm taking his belt. Fuck him. Like he should have gone offensive
WWE.
With it. And be like I don't want the belt this way, but if he's going to hit me with
I got it
Flair. Yeah, he should have owned it.
No, I think everything, because it gives him whatever he was getting paid, who knows, but his new contract, because he's the champ, is going to be a better contract.
Yeah, but the UFC seems like they're really good at shifting things right away. So is that, you think he's going to get all those benefits, or they're going to be like,
I mean, I hope so.
Right. He's not going to get, he's not going to get the same as like a guy like Henry Cejudo would, or
hell no.
You know what I mean? Like a guy that won 2 championship belts and is finishing.
But he's going to make more money than
he's definitely going to.
He should get all those.
Speaking of Henry, obviously he lost to DJ, right? Then he came back, fought DJ. He beat DJ barely. I don't even know if he beat DJ, right? And then after that, they got rid of DJ. DJ's over there kneeing people in the head every day and getting kneed in the head just like that all day. That's what they do. And he came out and said that was some bullshit.
We know what else. I don't know if it was real or not, but somebody posted a thing. It was like a tweet from Sterling from like 2 years ago saying like, fuck it, just knee him in the head. Like if their hands are on the ground, it's a stupid rule anyway. He's like, just don't get caught. He said something like that.
Well, the guy got caught.
But we don't know if that's true.
Right. Yeah, we don't know. Could have been.
Right.
And
yeah, man, take all that shit that comes along with winning.
Do you think anything? Because you sent me that thing about him kicking Sarah out of his corner.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. I had heard. I don't know. Did I send you a video or just?
I think it was just like a meme or something.
I listened to an interview with Matt Serra talk about it. He was just
he went on for about 15 minutes. Yeah.
He was like, I don't really want to corner people anymore anyway. So if he had that thought in his head, maybe that's what Sterling could feel it.
Yeah,
or
you know what I mean?
Or he was that bitter about not being asked, because I guess him and Longo have that tight relationship, or at least is what it seems like, that they worked together, and this was a surprise that he was kicked out of the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he sounded like the way Sarah said it, he had like some new guy that was in the corner that because Sterling's not there anymore. He's out in Vegas training.
Oh, it sounded like he was splitting time, but
But I think in like he had been like out there for like 9 weeks.
Okay.
What I'd heard.
So. Isn't it kind of crazy that Khabib, you know how they mentioned Khabib once, they said because Khabib translated whatever was said. I mean, I know it's not about Khabib, but considering the fact that he is maybe the greatest of all time or whatever, they almost acted like he wasn't there when they came to the when he came to the ring for his fight for his fighter. It almost acted like he wasn't there, like he was they didn't mention. It was like you see Kareem Nurmagomedov like walk into the, but it's like they never even said like protege of Khabib or train. It's like I wondered like, did he say, let this be about him and please don't mention me?
If he said that.
Because it's like he's right there and they never said his name to the point where my girl was like, are you sure that's him? I'm like, it's gotta be him. Like it's only one dude that looks like that.
My question about Khabib is, do you think he can make 155 anytime soon?
Probably 200 pounds.
Yeah, man, he looks.
And that's what she said. She was like, he's too big. I said, babe, he didn't lose the weight for the fight. That's him just walking around.
Yeah. They say he used to walk around like 190 anyway. Even when he was I've heard a lot of the 155ers that walk around at like 190. Like I heard
he's a monster. Could you imagine what he's like?
Yeah, right. That? Jesus.
All right, so we got those fights, and then the big fight.
Hold on, real quick. What about Khabib's man? You don't think he that dude? He doing his thing.
He fights
Makhachev.
Yeah, I think he's awesome. He just hardly ever fights.
Well, yeah, he was. But look, we came back looking like Khabib.
Yeah, he looked incredible, but I actually thought he almost looked better than Khabib. Like the way, like his transitions and his his tightness. Like he was a different.
So the MMA stats are pretty amazing for that fight, where his control time was 9 minutes 26 seconds versus 12 seconds of control for for Dober. Yeah, and 3 for 4 out of takedowns, 2 submission attempts. Clearly,
he looked like
won.
he just looked a little bit more
striking output. 119 total strikes versus 24. Like those
the ground strikes can really throw off striking stats. But I think they lump them all. I know. I mean,
it's 102 landed.
Because like in the Blachowicz fight,
I have stats for that.
Yeah, like Blachowicz outstruck Adesanya. It was like crazy amount, right? But it's mostly because when he got him down, he was landing completely unanswered.
So
strikes.
So significant strikes. I believe that the way they break those out is from the feet. So there wasn't that big of a difference on the feet. 193 thrown by Blachowicz, 163 thrown by Adesanya. But that difference is almost a difference of how many were landed too. So Blachowicz landed more significant strikes. But on the ground, it looks like Blachowicz threw another 80 to 90 strikes where Adesanya didn't have that many. Also the control in that fight where he's thrown 7 minutes of control where Israel, they counted 1 second of control on the ground. Yeah.
I wonder where that was.
I don't know. Didn't show up in the highlights.
You think Izzy was quick? I mean, I don't think any fighters are scared of each other. Fighter is fighter. You ready to fight? But Izzy wasn't. That was the first time ever that he wasn't Izzy coming to the ring.
So I think it was looking at what I saw. I don't know how that works, but Blachowicz wasn't scared of Izzy. And so much so he wasn't scared, he wasn't even respectful of Izzy. I was like, I got to respect this guy, like what he does. And people are talking about the cage size might have been a problem for Izzy because it was a 25-foot cage versus a 30-foot cage. And apparently, if the guys on Sherdog are right about the math, that cage is 44% bigger when it's 30 versus 25. There's a lot of space that you're losing,
especially for his style.
If you were outside, pick your shots,
back in the way, kick those.
I'm sure he's fought in that cage before.
I believe it, but I think against a bigger, stronger guy.
Against a guy that's like, I don't want to fucking be near this dude, man.
Because especially after the first round, because I could take what he's throwing. I'm not too worried about it, and I could walk him down.
Yeah. I feel like if they ever do a rematch of Ngannou and Derek Lewis, they should put that in like a 10-foot cage.
Oh hell yeah!
It's a very small cage.
Hell yeah! There was another fucking fight like that recently where the two looked scared to fucking.
There was a fight on this card. It was Rakic versus Iago Santos. It was two like good knockout artists.
That just was like,
happened.
why are you not throwing any punches at each other? But yeah, Izzy was super calm, super regular. He didn't do anything. Like his music was there. He didn't dance. It was just like serious.
And there was no real build-up animosity on his part. Normally he's like going like Paulo Costa, the Australian dude. I can't think of his name right now that he fought and he took the title from. Whitaker.
It's because he didn't think the whole time. He said, I want to try to do something great. But in his mind, he knew it was a tall order.
And what do you mean moving up in weight?
He knew that he didn't feel confident enough to say, man, I'm gonna fucking knock this giant down.
I disagree. I think I think the UFC thought that this was his best opportunity to make that fight happen for the John Jones fight. Right. That if he's going to beat anybody at 205, it's this big Polish stiff, and they were wrong. Smaller cage maybe worked against them. The guy wasn't scared, didn't respect. I think he respects him as a martial artist, didn't respect him at 205, right? Didn't respect his power and his speed. Wasn't scared of him.
And he wasn't thrown off by any of like the commentators were really it's interesting to watch fights without the commentary if you watch them again.
Biting on feints.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all they were talking about. Is like Blachowicz has to do something. He keeps biting on these feints.
He wasn't biting on the strikes.
Right.
So he's gonna bite on something.
But Blachowicz checked almost all of his kicks. Like Blachowicz has like a very awkward looking style, but he's way more technical than people give him credit for. And also, like Izzy is a great kickboxer. But kickboxing is different than MMA. You know what I mean? So he like Kelvin Gastelum versus Izzy in a kickboxing match. Gastelum would get completely outclassed, but in an MMA fight, it was somewhat competitive. Same thing with Blachowicz, were to kickbox Izzy in a Muay Thai fight. I bet Izzy would pick him apart.
You think his belt color showed once he got on the ground?
I think his size showed once he got on the ground. But yeah, Blachowicz when he first got to the UFC was a really good grappler. He's been fighting for I think over 10 years and grappling for probably 15, 20 years.
He's a hell of a story too, because I was shitting on him a little bit last one, but he seems like a super nice dude. We don't get very many fighters from Poland, so it's good for them. But also just the way that a lot of people didn't expect him to win that fight.
Yeah.
They thought Izzy was gonna, do what Izzy does. So good for him.
Yeah, and I think the size definitely was the thing. Like he on guys at 185, I think Izzy can push him off and stand back up.
But in your opinion, size matters.
And he can push him off in the clinch and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get it.
It's all right.
So you saw
that's what she said.
Somebody is enjoying this a whole lot.
John Jones. Yeah, that's the other thing. Is like there is no way that Izzy would stand a chance.
Yeah, it changes everything. It got rid of the fantasy of seeing these two super fight. He was like, I guess the super fights off. John's posting shit. You saw some of the posts. Yeah, John is
they
like
were going back and forth at each other.
But he's like watching it on the TV, like talking like all you people that hit me up.
What it also shows is that Blachowicz might be able to beat John Jones. Because Izzy's got about the same reach that John Jones has. Very good strike. The only thing Izzy doesn't have is the takedown.
John Jones is a wrestler.
Yeah, I know, but Blachowicz is very hard to take down.
He's a wrestler.
Well, so
that's the only thing. It's the only unanswered thing we have. But as far as
who hits harder, Jones or Adesanya?
Probably Adesanya.
You think so? You think Adesanya punches and kicks harder than John Jones?
How many people has John Jones knocked out with a punch?
At 205, I'd have to check the stats.
Check the stats. I don't think it's many. He has a lot of TKOs on the ground. I don't know if he has any TKOs on the feet.
Does it count when he choked out Machida standing?
That's a KO.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't think John Jones is notorious for not hitting hard. He's a pitter patter guy.
Okay.
And then he takes you down and he fucks you up on the ground. But he's
kick you in your head and knock you out.
Yeah, but he's a mean dude.
There's one with his feet.
I saw how mean he was when he just let Machida just drop to the ground like he was, fucking garbage. It was like, yeah, whatever, and walked away. That was nasty.
My favorite mean thing he did was when I think it was the first DC fight. DC had him it was like the end of the round. DC had him in a single leg, and Jones like raised his hand like he won. So DC let go, and then he turned around and started swinging.
There was 5 seconds left, right?
Yeah, it was like a couple seconds left.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Gamesmanship.
Hey man, listen.
That's just mean.
When you're
meansmanship.
When you're at the top of your game, so you could be.
Yeah, but that really solidifies John Jones as the king of
It
205.
made me, because I thought Blachowicz was the worst light heavyweight champion, like the easiest win for Izzy or John Jones.
I agree. I think the UFC thought that too.
Now I think Izzy has no chance against Jones, but Blachowicz does have a chance.
You know, because Dominic Reyes gave Jones a tough fight.
Yeah, and this guy flat.
And Blachowicz destroyed him.
And I watched his fight against Rockhold the other day.
Luke
Rockhold, yeah. You know any other Rockholds?
No.
And Rockhold's a very good grappler, really good takedowns, and got completely stuffed by Blachowicz. Blachowicz blocked all of his kicks and all of his strikes, and then just hit him maybe like 3 or 4 times the whole fight and knocked him out.
What are your thoughts on Rockhold's career?
It's a shame. He's like a guy with a ton of potential.
Talent?
But like I think he's a classic case of a guy whose ego has fucked him up.
Huge.
Over and over again.
Yes.
You can see when he fights, he thinks he's going to knock everybody out with one shot.
And never understands why he loses.
Right. Yeah. And he's been knocked out several times just for like underestimating his opponent or overestimating his own skills.
Knocked out, like flattened bad. Yeah.
Right.
And he is an extremely skilled fighter.
Yeah, he was a great grappler, great striker. He's good at everything.
No.
He's a Long Island kid.
No, he's out west.
California.
I think
okay.
It's Central California, maybe Southern California, but yeah. Surfer dude.
Moving on to grappling. Gordon Ryan versus Vagner Rocha. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I think Wagner's going to get, pardon, if there's kids in the room, he's going to get ass raped.
Really?
Yes. I don't think Wagner has anything. Number one, what's the size difference?
Wagner's moved up a lot in weight. It's probably maybe 15 pounds.
But Gordon's moved up a lot in weight too, but Gordon's just Wagner has competed at a high level at lower weight classes. Won or placed at ADCC.
He's competed. He's a guy that doesn't care too much about. He's competed against Craig Jones. He's beat Shanji.
He's awesome. I think he's got a lot of balls, and he's talking about a mean grappler. Like he's a mean grappler when it's right, in the right circumstances. I don't think he gets like cheaty or chippy, but when it's
just rough.
He's just rough. I don't think he stands a chance against
I think people make too big of a deal about his physicality and not enough about how skilled he is. Like, have you ever seen him versus Tonin in ADCC?
I likely have, but I don't recall.
He like pretty much dominated Tonin. He won, but like 2-0 or 4-2 or something.
Okay, sounds like a pretty close match.
But he was in control. Like he mounted him. He had like a lot of dominant positions on him.
But he only beat him by 2 points.
Yeah, in the points period. But he went against John Blank. He went right into all John Blank's like leg lock bullshit and had no issue with it. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I still think Gordon's going to win. But Gordon says that he thinks, and Wagner's 40. Gordon's like 22, 23.
There's another factor, right?
So, but Gordon says Wagner's age is an advantage.
Really?
Yeah, he says.
What's the context there?
He says he's got more physical maturity, more time lifting weights.
Man weight, as Ali would call
or
it.
Old man strength.
Okay.
And he's got just more training time and more competition time.
I don't know if he's got more training time because
he's probably been training twice as long.
But those guys, Gordon was training 2 to 3 times a day, sleeping on the mats at Henzo's. Probably, I don't know if he's training that much now. So when a lot of these guys say, "Oh, he's only been training for 9 months."
Yeah,
9 months for an average guy that comes 2 to 3 times a week isn't a lot. If you're training 2 to 3 times a day, 5 to 6 days a week, you can make a huge level improvements in 9 months.
I agree, but I still think Wagner has more time on the mat than Gordon.
But I don't think the
overall time.
How much of a difference is there? If you had to say, like hours wise,
40%.
I disagree. I don't think he's got 40% more.
We have no way because we don't need to know. Gordon really trains that much.
Yeah, right.
You're just going on what he says
or what we think.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't think he's got 40% more mat time than he does.
All right. I'm going to go with Wagner on that. I think Wagner's going to pull off the upset.
Wait, 3 minutes ago you said you thought that Gordon was still going to win. You changed your mind?
I think he is, but I'm going to go with Wagner.
Oh, your prediction is Wagner.
But I think Gordon is going to win.
But your thought process is...
That's how I pick most fights.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I think and predict Gordon Ryan will win that match.
What about you, JB? Who's going to win?
I'll defer to you guys. You guys are the experts in this.
We disagree is the problem.
Yeah. So
we need a
tiebreaker.
You got Wagner Rocha.
Marco's right. That's it. There it is.
I came bearing gifts today, so
Marco's right. That's it.
Good. What do I get?
Son.
Nothing.
Nothing. You get
bring him some wings.
his fucking stats.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Stats.
Look at that.
My gift.
Yo,
Yeah, bro.
what about the gift of what happened to JB this weekend?
Son, he didn't look at it. Are we? Go ahead.
No, but you gotta.
Son, mayhem, son. You gotta watch the video though, son.
No, but you want to explain to him what happened.
Son, I was breaking my fast.
It's terrible for the listeners. Tell us
For the listeners.
How did you break your fast? All right. First of all, how long was your fast?
5 days.
No food for 5 days.
Right. Just water and coffee.
Water and coffee for 5 days, and then
Coffee black?
How did you break it?
How did I break it? Basically shitting on myself the entire time. So.
Wait. So you broke it by eating the shit you shit? Because that's breaking the fast would be. What did you eat?
So what did I eat? I think I ate eggs and some other shit.
So
like bread with some toast or something.
So what
And
happened?
then you had a
Son. And then I had a fucking,
we have a recurring theme
an
on the
emergency fucking bowel evacuation. So
a lot of JB stories revolve around him shitting his pants.
Yo, man, listen. I don't know if they all do, but
No, it didn't seem like there were any pants involved.
Listen to me. Any good time involved, you know what I mean? Shitting your pants is always a good time.
Okay.
So that's what it's
Yeah,
about.
it looked
Luckily,
like
I hit the carpet.
a scene of a stabbing, but
Son, what?
rather than blood, they just let shit out.
They got me. Yeah, they stabbed me in the dookie. Bang! I just pop.
So you
What? Yeah, man.
all right, well,
It
give
was
us the story. Tell you.
Nah, man.
Spin
I'm just
your
saying.
yarn,
I
like
was
that
doing
was
something, bro.
Wait.
Come on,
Spin
son.
your yarn.
Bro.
Look at you.
This motherfucker.
Yo, that is really cute.
What are you talking about?
You're asking him to spin his yarn.
It means like tell the story.
I get it.
Okay.
I understand the context.
Nah, son. I broke my fast and I ate and whatever the eggs or whatever.
How many eggs did you have?
One. I only had one.
And all
One
that
egg?
that
Yeah.
was from one.
I only had one egg. Nah, I had like I had some plátanos. You know what I
So
mean?
you
Some
broke your
plantain.
fast
How many?
and then
One
blew out your
plantain.
ass.
Well, you know, like you cut them in a
whole bushel of plantain.
no, just one. Like
One. Okay, one.
one
I would
whole
think
plantain.
After a
and
5-day fast, any amount of food.
can what I should what that is shitting
is-
yourself
wait,
is a sign
Did he
of
say I
not.
shoulda?
But I should have.
I shoulda.
shoulda.
What I shoulda. Yo, shitting yourself is a sign that you're doing it wrong. So clearly, I'm breaking my fast wrong.
Again, let's be clear. From the video you sent me, it didn't look like you shit yourself.
No, son. Like I said, I had an emergency evacuation, son. That's what it was. And
And
that's
that's was there backsplash and
backsplash.
was it like all over
It
the
was-
bathroom?
Yo, my G, it
It
was
was like
like
this guy's.
son, yo, it would top it. It would have top. But you know, his shit like was on the ceiling. The magazines caught it. Like you know what I mean? Nah, mine was the floor.
My problem was the angle of attack.
Yo, but I took my own advice. I jumped in the shower and then I was just and then I let
you
go.
let it
Son.
fly in the
I
shower.
I just was like, okay, this is it.
Your waffle stomped it.
Boom. It was just like.
That's why I came back. I felt bad for him that he had,
Son.
embarrassed himself and had to share the
And it
story
was
with
the
all of our
coffee. I
listeners.
think it was the eggs.
I got him an
and the
AeroPress.
coffee. You got me an AeroPress.
And so I got him an AeroPress
Extra caffeine.
There it is.
so that
Son,
next time he won't shit
stimulated the
himself.
Yo, it looked like a murder scene, son. It just the floor,
Yeah.
everything. It was
So
just
you
like
stabbed
Looked like
somebody
a-
in the
like
large
letting go.
It
intestine.
looks like you stabbed somebody and they bled feces.
that's what it was.
No, he
Like, I
stabbed.
caught
He
it.
stabbed himself in the large intestine.
Nah, yeah, that's exactly what it was, son. It was murder scene, son. It was mayhem, straight mayhem. That's what.
That's a great story.
Yeah. Well,
Talk about the cocky dookie.
Yeah.
So
that's
you
what it
sent
is.
and you sent me a video
of it. Yeah.
of it.
Of it. Yeah.
Well, remember
Yeah.
when I happened to me,
POV,
I
son.
sent you a picture.
POV.
I know. That's what-
POV, son. That's what it was. As it's going.
Yo,
son,
so if he was wearing his
I had
VR
mine,
glasses, he could have
course.
thought it was him.
son.
Yeah, I had a GoPro taped to my belly and then bang.
A GoPro lapse.
That's
Yo,
that's
good.
that's as good as like sleep
We should
number 2
end-
bed, which is still to this day my favorite thing you've ever said. Sleep number 2 bed.
so when I went to go pick up the ribs at the Reading terminal,
Right,
I'm driving around and there's a delivery truck driver wearing a GoPro on his head. And I rolled the window down. I said, yo, bro, I said, you live vlogging? He goes, no. He goes, a lot of rude drivers out there.
Oh, nice,
He goes, I only turn it on when I'm driving.
nice.
I go, all right.
Yeah.
Did he
My
tell you
phone
on video?
No, I don't
Oh.
think so.
Who
Maybe I'm
who
somewhere.
knows? You might
Yeah.
be on this vlog.
That might be the rude driver. he was
We had
referring to.
we'll get into some questions. But we
Yeah,
had
are we gonna talk about Nunes now that he's back, or
I
did
thought
we?
we already did.
Oh, okay. I thought we didn't officially.
Yeah, she beat the shit out of
she did.
Megan. It
That
looked
was
like
it.
Megan didn't deserve to be
There's
there.
not much to talk about.
There was.
And apparently that was her last fight on the contract and it hasn't been renewed yet.
Maybe that's what they wanted to get her out.
Who, Megan?
Yeah.
Oh no, it is stuff to talk about because you got to think about this as far as Amanda. The question is who
Nobody.
is out there, but there
man.
is a person.
It's a man.
No, there's a woman that's no longer there. That I guess she's at Bellator now.
Cyborg?
Cyborg is she a Bellator?
Yeah.
Yes.
Cyborg. That fight would never happen like that again. Never.
I wouldn't.
Never. Not like that. That was. I didn't meet anybody that can punch me this hard, so I'm just going in there wilding. The next time it would be respect there, and they would fight. It would be different. But I'm not saying she would lose,
Yeah.
it'll be the best fight she could probably have with anyone.
Yeah. I don't think there's anybody. I don't think there's any.
It doesn't look like
females
Dana
that-
White's not making that fight anytime soon.
So
I think Marco would stand a better chance against Nunes than Cyborg.
So I think that's a good thing.
I don't know if that's a
He's a man.
compliment.
He's a man. So hold on, wait, hold on. So what about damn, so what does she have to do at this point? Does she have to defend both titles in one night?
That would be.
But
she could.
But no matter what, it's a lose-lose for whoever fights her second. Because even if they win, it's going to just be like, I mean, but she had a whole fight earlier this night. Yeah.
I don't think there's any girls that can fuck with her.
Yo,
At least not right now.
What other shows are running heavy with the female fighters?
Well, Victor's all female, right?
Victor,
yeah.
I think one's got women.
Okay.
There's some in Japan. They'll let
some
Gabby
Bellator.
Garcia fight.
One got different kind of fights in it. You think that
Maybe
UFC will make a boxing match with her and Clarissa Shields?
No, that would be terrible.
I'm not touching anything Clarissa Shields related.
Clarissa Shields, because Clarissa Shields wants that smoke.
No, not in a real fight.
No, not in a
boxing match.
Because she's offended by people saying that Amanda Nunes has the best hands in combat, the women's combat, and she's like, what the fuck are y'all talking about?
Well,
I've got the best hands.
Women's MMA is way more popular than women's boxing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, overall combat, Amanda Nunes has better hands in real combat.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? In boxing, Clarissa Shields is the best, but
but come on, my G. You like
so I mean, so they fight in MMA. Nunes wins. They fight in boxing.
Yeah.
Clarissa Shields wins. Yeah.
In combat.
Let's
be clear.
Proper fight.
Clarissa Shields kills it.
So hold on. What about the people that would say, well, then fuck it, UFC's not combat because they don't allow knees to the head? Is a lot of
she
things.
beat her at ONE FC too.
Yep. Now if they allow knees to the head, it'd be even worse for Clarissa Shields.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, that's real.
So we had your hate on site thing from last week.
Yeah, it's some sort of idea.
Yeah, we had a friend of the show, Jay-Z. Not his Jay-Z, our Jay-Z. He said he would like to hear a BJJ hate on site, like the things in the BJJ world, whether it be in schools,
this is good,
online stuff, the stereotypical jiu-jitsu bros.
Hate on site.
Hate on site. We don't have to. We should probably maybe do one each.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This could be a weekly segment.
Yeah, I'm a us.
Us.
Oh, yeah.
I love us.
I think us because I don't know when that started.
With you guys, you mean?
Yeah.
Us is it's been in the martial arts forever.
Yes, it has. Japanese, Brazilian. I don't think it's in the dictionary.
It's not all. I mean, why is it all about Brazil for you?
Well, we're talking about jiu-jitsu.
You were
I
right.
do Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
It's not fun today.
Yeah, I know, right? Terrible.
Go ahead.
That's all right. This is what happens when we let them run the show. When we allow it. Yeah, I'm
So what's yours?
us.
Us. Okay.
Yeah, when people use us and they don't use the other parts that should be coming behind us.
What's
What
the other part?
fuck is us?
Us is, you can say it at any point. Like if I agree with you, I can say us. If I exert myself, I can say us. You can just say it whenever.
So what's it used for in Japanese martial arts, Jay?
In karate, it's usually everything you're describing.
It's a catch-all term. You use it for
not necessarily, but it's like it's a good thing.
Like us. Poha.
It's like I think poha might be a bad thing most of in some. It could be.
Say when they're happy.
Is us? Can it be good and bad, or just usually good?
Usually it's good.
Yeah, I think poha could be bad too.
Like
good
job.
Like when you're mad.
Sometimes I've seen karate. I know this one karate instructor. He got like this student hit him hard. And he was just like, "Oh, good job, it's a good job, like good." And then he got fucked. And the teacher fucked him up.
I think us should not be used by white belts.
So I think
a black belt. I know many good black belts that say it, and it's
I've been saying this since I was a kid.
Right. So, but I think in the context,
I never use it in
the guys that I see use it in Brazilian jiu-jitsu don't live what us, like the people that brought us would want them to live, like the respect and the all that stuff.
I say us when I get out of a chair. When I get up, I say us.
No,
that's a groan.
That's my groan.
Like that. Mine's is the jits. I don't think they do that.
That would have been number 2 for me.
Yeah.
I like
you're like your Kakaduki, number 2.
Jits. Yeah,
Jits.
there's
When
guys
people
that
call
are like,
jiu-jitsu jits.
oh, yo, man, I'm training the jits today.
So both of y'all things are what you hear on heard
on sound.
On sound, yeah.
On
First,
sound.
so far,
Nah, it's because I see the guy.
But
I
it has
hear
to
them,
go
but I
with,
see the guy.
what you see.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Then when dudes are like, yo, man, I'm getting really good at the jits, and you're just like, okay, that's one of them. One of, if you're gonna go down the list, but that's the one that comes up real quick.
You got any jiu-jitsu hate on sites?
Yeah. Higher belts that don't roll with when I watch them turning down lower belts.
BJJ bitch assness.
It just be like I know what I'll do too. So it seems like you're skipping me. and like no, on purpose.
Oh, you're being avoided.
It seems like you're skipping me because of last time what happened.
Yeah. Well, that's his choice.
Yeah, that's
a good one.
That's bitch
I've done it.
Yeah.
Listen, I've done it though.
That's the epitome of bitch
But I do like
I've done it.
If I don't like, there's guys like I won't roll with because like I know what this guy's gonna be like, and I don't feel like it today.
So it's
I understand that.
I was like,
exactly.
I understand that part though.
No,
I
so
understand
is that? Wait a minute, is that bitch ass?
No.
He might not feel like going all hard or something like that. That makes sense.
Or I'll get you next time. Right? It's like, okay, he's not avoiding me. He just doesn't feel like training.
I'll get like
right.
I'll get like 6. I'll get you next times after that last time.
Listen, I don't. My thing is sometimes it's just like, nah, not today. Like I don't feel like it.
Right.
Today.
You're too much for me to handle.
Yeah, I don't. Not today.
Yeah. I'm not in the mood.
I'm in the mood for this bullshit.
Mine is just defensiveness. People being defensive. I hate it.
What do you mean?
Like
just like a Stefanos?
Just yes, like that. I don't like to name names, but
Stefanos.
I hate when people. Like I said, I don't like to name names. I like it when you name names. But I don't like to name names. Not like people that don't try. That's the thing. It makes me sick when people don't.
Not
try.
getting submitted is winning.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
That attitude.
It is.
What?
It is sometimes.
No, I'm not saying. So it's one thing if you can withstand an onslaught and you're trying, but there's a certain type of person that when they start the round, they'll like just protect their neck and lay there for 5 minutes and won't try anything. That is what makes me sick.
Okay.
But if you're like, when you're surviving, if you get the opportunity, you're gonna take something. You're gonna try to escape. You're gonna make a move.
Right.
There are some people you can like. I've been rolling with people and I've like taken all my weight off and like sat next to them, and they've stayed in the exact same position
because they know you're setting them up.
I'm just these high level people. Has that ever happened to you with like someone who's high level? Really?
Oh, okay.
Usually only high level.
I've seen
higher level.
Tim in MMA sparring stand on a guy. The guy was turtled. He stood on the guy's back. It looked like the Cristo Redentor, their Christ statue in Rio.
Christ the
he
Redeemer.
Christ the Redeemer, standing on the guy because the guy. I'm not gonna say this guy takes that attitude, but in this construct of this MMA training, later on he slap kicks Timmy in the neck. But he took a. I've never seen Timmy beat anybody up so fucking bad in my life, and I know for a fact that he really loves this dude. But then stood on the guy's fucking back.
Yeah,
stood
like
on
I said, it brings out like a.
Yeah, I've never seen you. That's the only time I've ever seen you get angry.
There's something like weakness makes me want to kill whatever is being weak.
Oh, you really are a Russian.
Yeah, right?
Like, but when I don't know, especially like, I'd rather have somebody like destroy me than not give me a chance to destroy them.
Fail trying. Don't fail
Exactly.
not trying.
And that's exactly. That's the thing that I hate.
And that's today's hate on sight.
Hate on sight. We could do this every. I could do
Yeah,
hate on sight. I could do it.
That was the problem. Is I didn't.
We can
next so much thought
next
of
4
this.
hours.
Yeah, I know.
I gotta, on the shit I
we
hate.
could change the name of the podcast
to like shit we hate.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into some questions.
Let's go.
This isn't really a question.
Okay.
But it just says
so. We're not getting into
It
questions.
says like looks like Tim was white about his predictions.
Yes, he was.
I don't agree with that.
Who was that? Who was that? One of your
Sheesley.
Sheesley.
Oh, okay.
Our girl.
Sheesley. Oh, the Yakubian princess.
His other question was, will Gordon ever put on the gi, assuming he continues to dominate no gi?
Never.
Why would he? No.
He said at one point he threw the idea out and then abandoned it.
That I think
a few months later.
Because I think if he did, I think he could easily become a jiu-jitsu world champion.
You think easily?
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cool though. At being at a high level, he can make those decisions or not make them.
Yeah.
Like
I'd rather see that than see him go into MMA. I'd much rather see him win a gi world
I
championship.
think he's more likely to be a gi world champion than he is to be UFC champion.
Right. I agree.
What do you think carries more weight? World champion in jiu-jitsu or a world champion in fighting? In combat, as you may say.
Man, so so this
That's what
would
you're
be
talking
hate on sight. Like you
Oh, we're gonna save it for next.
No, but if you're talking to jiu-jitsu people,
Of course.
a lot of them don't even and they don't care. Like for them, Gordon Ryan or whoever the current world champion is, that's the guy.
Oh, man, that brings up another hate for me.
Write it
Save
down
that
for next week.
Yeah.
Write it for next week.
But no, but
But if you're an MMA
For
guy,
me,
you look at the jiu-jitsu people and you're like, whatever.
because
They don't know how to
very
fight.
specific with combat. So
Right.
Which is more impressive to me?
yeah, like which one do you think is like okay? Which one
The
would you?
UFC heavyweight champ or the UFC
any
title.
weight champion.
UFC title
Okay.
is a bigger accomplishment
Of
than a
course,
jiu-jitsu world title.
Yeah. Okay.
I think the jiu-jitsu world title
But
is
I
a
have a
great
hard time.
accomplishment.
I have a hard
Massive.
time saying like which I would sort of.
I mean,
Yo,
the
let me ask you
UFC
this.
title
So-
is the most coveted fighting.
Right.
Combat.
Yo,
Especially martial arts related. It is the highest level of martial arts accolade that anybody could receive.
Now, would you rather have that or you rather have a WBC title?
Anybody can have a WBC title.
What?
Like a WBC. It's like
The
one of
World Boxing Council
Yeah, like
title
they-
and just anybody, they throw those out
you
like
can
a-
like
The
so you can
fucking
hold on.
green belt?
Yes. So like they do kickboxing events. You can get a WBC kickboxing.
No, you know
title.
which one I'm fucking talking about.
Okay. UFC for sure.
Okay.
100%. Because like boxing, it's like I don't know. I'd rather have a jiu-jitsu world championship over a boxing title and a UFC.
What money
title.
would you rather have? The boxing world
Well, we
championship
already
money
know
or
that. Now we know
or
what
the
that
jiu-jitsu world title money? The gi world title money.
Yo, if a guy rolled up on you and he was like a champion, and he was like, "Yo, give me your bad motherfucker wallet." If he was the UFC champion, or if he was like a jiu-jitsu champion, which one would you be like? Not that you would. It's all hypothetical.
Look at him. He's like, do I look like I'm giving my wallet?
Would you be more concerned about the guy who can punch and kick and also?
All right, so if you were advising me, if this same guy came to me,
yeah.
which one?
anybody comes to you, I would say just give him the wallet. I would. Anybody, you should do
Avoid-
like a
avoid the
women's
conflict?
self-defense.
There you
Yeah,
go.
like a women's
Yes.
self-defense.
Okay.
Use your
Nice.
keys.
Yo, son.
Put your keys in your hands.
you heard
Have a
that? Women's
Kubaton?
self-defense.
Pepper spray.
Kubaton?
Yeah.
Shots.
Get a whistle.
There you go.
I get all of that.
Bear spray.
Yeah, bear spray,
Bear
right?
spray.
Yeah.
All right,
Take
we
a
got
shield.
some fight predictions.
Oh,
Who would win these fights?
Let's go.
Both fighters in their prime. Mike Tyson, Brock Lesnar.
in
In an all-out fight.
rules. UFC rules.
Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
Tim versus Marco, street fight.
Tim, man.
Right.
You're big as
Marco
shit.
all the way.
You're big as hell, dog.
Clearly, we know who I think's winning.
What'd you say?
I think Marco would win because I wouldn't have it in me to hit him.
That's what I've been counting on for 20 years.
Yo.
Butterbean versus Roy
Who?
Nelson. Butterbean.
That's
Because
not
you
what
said,
you said the
you
first
said
time.
Butterbean.
You did.
You said
Butterbean.
Butterbean.
You said
You
Butterbean.
said Butterbean, son. Get your fucking records together, son.
All right. Butterbean.
CTE kicking it.
It is, man. Thank you, Travis.
Yeah,
Butterbean versus Roy Nelson. Boxing match.
Butterbean.
Roy Nelson.
Yeah, Roy Nelson.
Roy Nelson's hard to knock out.
Okay. I'm not dying on that hill.
And
Of
this
Butterbean.
is from Hellfish White Belt. Eric Goodwin. He says, "Me versus Tim, street fight. Tim has both hands behind his back, and he has a baseball bat. I still win.
You still win?
Easy.
Eric Goodwin fucks you up.
I kick his legs out.
Nah, never.
I would just kick his legs out.
What
from
have you
under
been? How long has he been training with you?
him. Month maybe.
Hold on. How would you kick his legs
Yeah,
out if you
with
got
your
a
hand.
bat to hit your legs?
Yeah.
You can't check
Hey, could you-
bats to the legs.
Hey,
So baseball bat, you get one shot.
So here's so
That's
we'll-
true.
You get one swing.
he
with a
said your
baseball
hands
bat.
are hands are tied behind your back.
This blunt.
For the Ninja Rob podcast and our YouTube channel, we should film you hands tied behind your back,
There you go.
kicking a heavy bag, and let's see what happens there.
Oh man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Heavy bag, heavy bag wins. The heavy bag wins. Boom, there's my answer.
What is another question from Eric? What is the best fight you've ever seen? Doesn't have to be like the.
I always reference this fight when I'm walking out of my house Well, I live in South Philadelphia on Shunk Street. In my periphery, what's going on? There's like a fight going on or something. And I turn, there's two guys rumbling, fighting on the top step in the hall. Like one's outside of the doorway, the other one's inside of the doorway. And they're both just throwing punches at each other. And I'm looking and I just keep walking. My car's parked right over there and I'm watching and they keep fighting. They knock the railing over between the two houses and then they just stop fighting. But for 15 to 20 seconds, it was an amazing street fight.
So this is the best street fight you ever saw.
Oh, just fight in general.
This is the best fight.
Yeah.
Can I come back to that? Let me think of it for a minute.
It could be MMA fight, street fight, your own personal fight, anything.
Nah,
boxing match.
Well, you didn't watch your own fight.
Whatever.
If I watch my own, that would be the best fight. If it was a hands versus a gun, I'm gonna pick that one. But no, I think it went to boxing. It might have been like Arturo Gotti,
Mickey Ward.
Yeah. It might have been that. If not that though, Pacquiao versus, because he had 4 of them. Marquez, but the way that one,
the last one,
and yes,
when
it was
flattened?
just.
Nah, it looked like a sniper. It looked like
it was an incredible moment.
Like,
everything tied to it was so crazy because it was just me and my boy in front of the super big screen and his dad's big, and we going back and forth. And he's standing up like, "Yeah, back man, get him!" I'm like, "Come on, man."
Pacquiao was 3-0 going into that fight against Marquez,
and he
was
was
always
like,
question some of the other ones.
"Oh, that's a super fact. Yeah, that's a super fact." And I remember our boy saying something slick, just like, "Pac about to get him."
That was right off of a step back, right? He stepped back and bam.
That was
he was jumping in.
You know who was even happier?
Pacquiao was lunging in.
Nacho Berenstein was so happy for him.
I love that guy.
There's a really cool video you can see of Marquez training that shot like over and over again. Like
with Nacho?
I don't know who he's training with. He's training it on the pads, and you see him hit it in sparring and dropping people in sparring with it.
Right.
And then you see him, and then it cuts right to him doing it to Pacquiao.
Yeah, I felt like it was like a something quick
his head out.
I would hope you fight a guy 4 times.
In, bang,
the 4th time you maybe figure it out.
He figured it out on the other ones too, man. Like these fights were so like it was like who really won those other fights for real?
Pacquiao.
That was I think that was probably one of the dumbest decisions a boxer ever made, was to have that. You're 3-0 against a guy and you fight him a 4th time. And that the damage that he took in that fight could have changed his career for sure, as far as like the money he was going to get.
Now he's a forever meme.
But no. So that's one thing. It was the first night ever of the instant meme. Yeah. I never saw memes that fast. It was like he was still asleep. And motherfuckers was making Michael Jackson leaning, Annie, are you okay? Manny, are you okay?
The internet is undefeated.
That's where it really began.
Yeah. You know what? I was gonna pick one, and I don't know. Maybe the next one will be the best knockout, but I don't know if I want to throw that one into the realm. But I was gonna say Canelo Mayweather. The way he made Canelo look, it was like wow.
Especially when you see Canelo now.
Yeah.
I think that fight really changed Canelo too. I think if you watch Canelo before that and then watch him after it, you see how good his head movement got afterwards, and how like nobody.
Because he was like, I can't believe somebody could do that. I want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And there was times, man, where it just looked like he didn't even know what he was doing. Like just like he was moving past Floyd, and Floyd's like over there.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Yeah, it just shows you Floyd's greatness.
Not just that, but it also shows that they're really good. They know when to fight. Like he knows when to take fights and stuff like that.
Yeah, he didn't fight Pacquiao till he got murdered by Marquez.
Right.
But also till he started talking to Victor Conti.
Yeah. Right.
And they timed that to make sure that he was well off of the PEDs.
That's what they were thinking. But there's some other ones like, Sergio against Paul Williams. Was it Paul Williams? When he crushes him, he hits him with that overhand, right?
Damn, hold on. That was after that?
I don't know when it was, but and that Paul Williams was like a nice guy. He the guy.
You talking about that one? I'm talking about that. I'm talking about the Manny.
Mayweather and Pacquiao. Mayweather didn't fight Pacquiao until Pacquiao had been.
It was Sergio Martinez, right? That was his name. The Argentinian.
Sergio Martinez, yeah.
Oh my God.
He had shit on. People forget about dude. He was one of the only pay-per-view fighters at one point. Sergio Martinez.
Yeah.
It was like there was nobody. There was only like 3 names that could get a pay-per-view, and that was either Pacquiao, Mayweather, and I think it was that Sergio Martinez dude.
He was good. He had bad wheels, man. That's what did he remember. He was awesome.
My pick is Nick Diaz versus Takanori Gomi.
Okay.
I was there live, so that might have had something to do with it.
Nice.
Is that Pride in Vegas?
Pride in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, when I saw Nate Quarry knock out
Pete Cell?
yeah,
How's it going?
that was a good one. I was there.
That was
for
a great knockout.
See, that's an
That's a
interesting
great
one. Like
knockout.
then we can get into like what's the best
The
fight
one-
you ever saw.
Yeah.
It's been some crazy
that you've
fights
been
over the
to.
last 5 years. I just can't bring them into
There's
my
almost too many now.
Because when I
Yeah.
saw Alvarez get plastered by, I was at the
You used to be
McGregor
able
fight
to
for
like
that.
remember like, oh, there was this great fight. Like there was only like 10
One
great
UFC a
fights.
month, right?
Yeah.
Bro, there was
Yeah,
something
you're right,
had to be
man.
last year or right before COVID. It had to been it was a streak where UFC had like a 2-month run of the cards were just perfect, and it was like the most amazing shit was happening every fucking night, and I can't remember what it was. That's crazy.
On the side note, ultimately, do you think that's going to be the end game for the UFC? Are we going to see fucking UFC fights on a regular basis, weekly?
We already do.
No,
seems
bro.
like
They're
that's
every
where
day.
we're-
There's
that's where we're
one
going.
now. There's one.
They
Right.
gotta
Yeah.
feed the ESPN machine.
Yeah, it is that.
It had to been. If you just think of the characters, Blessed Holloway has had some like amazing fucking fights, bro.
And if you go old school, you take for a long time. I feel like who's the two dudes from Tough?
Forrest Griffin and Stephen.
That was
easy.
That was
For
a
long
good fight
time
back then, but
for a
like that
long
doesn't
time.
even stand up to anything
It was a
now.
great fight at
now
the
it's
time.
kind of crazy.
You brought up Diaz Gomi. Like I could argue Diaz Lawler. Like that was an
I think
awesome.
that was too short to be great.
Yeah,
and it was too one-sided. Like a great
but
fight,
Law-
I think, has to
Yeah,
have.
true. Because Lawler
back and
came in
forth.
like the boogeyman in that fight.
Yeah.
Back and forth, but a definitive ending.
Yeah, so like the
Okay,
the
fair enough.
Diaz,
Even as you're watching it, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
like the Diaz Gomi fight. Gomi like rocked Nick Diaz, split his face open, broke his orbital bone, knocked him down a couple times.
Sounds like every Nick
And then
Diaz
the
fight.
second round, like Diaz started like picking him apart,
All
landing
right.
shots.
And then
then-
Gogo
So, like,
plows
this
him.
ebb and flow is
and then at the
amazing.
very and then Diaz had just gotten rocked again, and another big cut on his eye, and then Gomi shot a takedown and ended up right in a Gogo Plata, which is a submission you like never see.
Right.
So it was just like a crazy.
I feel like back in the day, in the early days, one of the coolest things was watch a guy get the fucking shit kicked out of him, and then he win. I
Yeah.
think of Oleg Taktarov. Like it's like his face is bleeding, he's covered in blood, and he does that little that jump thing, and he boom.
I
Takes
still
your leg. It's
can't
crazy.
think of Oleg Taktarov without thinking of Henzo up kicking him in the face.
Hey man, listen, that
That might be one of the greatest fights. When you're a young jiu-jitsu guy and you think jiu-jitsu is the shit, and no martial art is better than jiu-jitsu, and then that happens.
Up kicks him and then smashes him with a right hand on top of it.
What about what was it? John Jones versus
Gustafsson.
First Gustafsson fight?
Yeah, the first joint was crazy.
Next question. Troy Potts. What is the largest non-human animal you think you could kill with your bare hands?
Easy. Manatee.
With your bare hands?
Well, I would take it.
You got to be in the animal's environment.
I would take it into the shallow water. I would take it
Nowadays.
in the shallow water and then beach it.
How would you kill it? What
Would beach it.
No, it's got to be in the water.
Read
Not
the
in
question. Read the question again.
What would your game plan / technique be?
Beaching it.
Beaching it?
Yeah.
He just hold it on the beach.
There, bring it. Come on.
Come on.
That's like an 800 pound.
How are you going to
That's an 800 pound.
800 pounds onto the beach?
Slowly.
With a piece of lettuce.
And then stop it from
with a
getting
piece
back.
of lettuce.
What about you?
That's another. What? Now it's dawned on me what the fuck we're talking about.
What's the question exactly?
This
What
nigga
is the
just said he'll
largest-
kill a motherfucking manatee, son. You hear your man? Your man say, "I got that motherfucking manatee, son. I got it." Wait a minute, what?
And it's like he instantly.
It's
like he thought about it.
It's like he's at home, like fucking manatee. Fuck this manatee.
The largest,
Get hit in the head
animal
with
you could kill with your bare
propeller.
hands.
Technique
And
and
how
how
would
would
you
you
do
do
it?
it?
How would
That's
you
what he
do
said. Son,
The largest one that I could?
Non-human.
Non-human.
Oh, because
no, large human hand with your hands.
Nothing. Son. I'm animals.
You're
I don't want to fight
You're
a
a vegan.
raccoon.
You're
son.
a vegan.
Son,
That's
I don't
right.
want to fight none of them
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
You be a vegan, you're not fucking with it.
Oh.
Bro, that's a very weird question. So I don't know.
Great,
you know what
great
I mean?
question.
You know,
I
Largest
killed
animal.
that. I killed the manatee and the
bad
answer.
for manatees. Bad for manatees. I have no fucking idea. a cow. They're delicious, son. I'm
You
just
kill a cow with your bare hands?
son. Yeah.
How would you do it?
I'd take my time. Maybe it'll take a week.
He would bring it to the beach where I killed the manatee and drowned it.
That's what I would do.
What about
I lure it into the water.
a mini horse?
Mini
little
horse,
pony?
son. A little pony.
Like a little
son.
one of those mini ponies?
Yeah, they look like they're
Take
strong.
that, son. Yeah, they do. And they
But then
kick
how
and
would you
shit.
do it?
Rear
So-
naked choke.
There you go.
I mean, that's like for any animal, I think.
Mata caballo.
Mata caballo.
Yeah,
But
man. A cow, they're delicious.
Are
son.
a horse, so a horse has a longer neck. Where are the arteries?
There you go.
Up here or down there?
Fuck.
That's a good question,
Man.
son.
So
See?
you might start
you
strangling
haven't
in
been
one
a cow,
spot.
yo.
You haven't
might-
been thinking this
You
through.
hold on for a,
You have, obviously.
Yeah.
you hold on for a while, nothing happens. Then by the time you go to the other spot to
spent.
try it,
You're
your
spent.
arms are done.
That's why you need a cow.
And
Yo,
it
I'm gonna
kicks
walk
you.
up on this cow, punch it in the face.
All right, but what if I get it?
What?
What if I switch to a triangle?
There you go. Nah,
Not,
not on the horse.
Terrible.
they
Not
got
on the
teeth.
horse.
They'll bite you.
They can bite. They
can bite.
I think
Yeah.
his snout would be out too
Yo,
long,
I saw
son.
this horse try to take a bite.
Got
And
a
if
long
I-
neck. Got a long neck.
Yes.
What
What about you? What's go ahead, Hefe. What is it? What is it?
wild animal? I would say
A wild it has to be wild.
Well,
Oh,
I
could be
mean, it
domesticated?
could be domestic.
Okay.
Small dog.
That was-
No, I guess.
We waited for that.
No, you can
Yeah.
kill a pit
All right,
bull.
great,
Okay.
great.
Yeah, I guess you could.
That's
Nah, I
not a
don't-
small dog. That's medium size.
Yeah, I think. But I'm like,
So like a
I'm like him.
Pomeranian,
Like
you think
anything,
you
any,
could kill a Pomeranian?
Hey,
Yeah.
that's not. Come on.
any little, even a squirrel. Like I would be scared of if a squirrel ran at me.
Yeah.
I would be
Yeah,
terrified.
you're supposed
Yes,
to be.
bro. They're
You're
so
supposed to be.
hard to grab. They're so
Yeah.
fast, jumping around,
Yo.
biting you, scratching you.
son.
Because we were talking about
My
that.
karate
I was
teacher
talking
one time
about
came out of the
this.
back room and he's like, caught the squirrel. The squirrel went into the back room of the karate school and he came out with it. He was like,
It wasn't biting him, or it was just.
Nah, he just had it. He had it wrapped up in his hand and hold. I was like, what the fuck? How did you
Listen,
do this?
any animal that you think is cute or cool outside, I'm talking about as soon as you walk out your house, he could be right there near a bush and it's adorable. Like, look at the squirrels running around.
Yeah.
When he
They run up on
enters,
you? No.
when he enters your house
Yeah.
and they become something different. Birds in your house become something
Gotcha.
different. It's terrible, yo.
That's it. So you're what was it again? You said?
It's like a small dog.
Oh, okay.
I wouldn't like a pit bull. I mean,
bred for fighting. I don't know if I want to kill it.
What
Yeah.
would you do?
I mean,
What's the
I would-
technique
I would
and all
break
that?
its neck.
Okay.
I would like pick it up and just slam it.
you
on
don't think you could just
Gotcha.
punch him out?
That'd take. I mean, I think it would be more humane to just snap its neck against something.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
Okay.
My
Right, like, I don't
cousin,
wanna-
he
I
was
like
a
how you dog
boxer.
would die.
He
You're
punched
killing
it.
it. You're murdering
punched
a
a
dog
pit
for no
bull.
reason.
Killed it.
No, the
Nah, they
pit bull
can't.
didn't want no more sauce. Like
I
he
saw that.
really,
I saw
when he
that
jumped
happen.
at him, he really caught him, and the pit bull didn't want no more
Yeah, I
smoke.
saw that. I've seen that before.
Here's a question from Dundee. If cavemen and astronauts got into a fight to the death, who would win? No weapon allowed. That's easy.
Yeah, caveman all the way. I'm team caveman.
Fuck no.
Why not?
Cavemen don't know no fighting
I know
skills.
yeah.
They
Nah, That's
can't.
all they know.
No, that's all they know.
That's
They
all
know
they know.
survival skills.
No, they're just brute animals. They don't have no. They don't have no jujitsu. They don't have
Neither do
no.
astronauts.
What? Why not? Astronauts probably go to the dojo.
They don't have time. They don't have dojos in space. Now, here's the other thing. When an
They have
astronaut
dojos
comes
in
back
space.
when an astronaut comes back from outer space, they're incredibly weak. They
Muscle
Is that what
wasted.
it is?
Hold on, hold on.
What
So
this
where
is?
the fuck is
They're
are we-
fighting in space?
Yeah,
That's
son,
what
I mean,
they're fighting on the
Nah, nah,
ground.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can't put a caveman in space, but you can put an astronaut on the ground.
There you
That's
go.
fucked up.
I think this is the strategy. I think the astronaut grabs a caveman and starts to run in circles until the fucking caveman just passes out. That's it.
I'm still going
Swings and
caveman.
Caveman, easy. In a fight, if they got into a fight, the caveman
That's
would.
the one thing he
Because I
can
bet
do.
the first thing a caveman would do would be like grab him and bite his throat off.
How tall were cavemen?
They're like 5'6",
So this is because I'm saying the
But they
tallest
were-
caveman was probably 5'6".
but they were also, I think, like 5-6 times the strength of a human now.
I never heard
So
no
they're
shit like that.
like
son.
chimp strength they had.
I never heard no shit like that.
Well,
Look
remember,
up,
they
look
weren't-
up Neanderthal.
They had other stuff going on. So all right, so that's the winner. Caveman.
We got
Gotcha.
a lot of ridiculous questions.
I like it. Yes,
They say that
you are
that
running the
certain
podcast,
people
so it
have a
makes
lot of
sense.
Neanderthal in their DNA.
Yeah.
Russians?
I'm
And
not
there's-
saying
and there's,
who.
and there's certain people that have zero Neanderthal in their DNA.
So that's kind
Yeah,
of.
that was the first one. What
It's
he-
an
okay, the second
interesting
one.
topic. It's an interesting
It is.
topic
It is.
because it really makes it possible that the two people aren't related at all.
We don't want to get.
Mm.
All right, let's start.
That's for a different podcast. From Dustin Pincus. Will Ben Askren beat Jake Paul? Dana White bet 1 million Ben will win.
Team Jake Paul all the way on that one.
I don't know how that's going to happen.
I don't see how Askren could beat Jake Paul in a boxing match.
I don't either.
Boxing. Yeah, no way.
How?
Unless he cheats and just starts taking him down. I don't know.
Unless he clinches with him the whole time.
But why is Dana so sure?
Because he's got real combat experience. He's been hit. Hasn't ever really been knocked out. So I understand why. Askren
hasn't really been knocked out.
That's where I put my
he holds a world record for being knocked out.
Oh, I'm sorry. The knee to the face hasn't been knocked out with a punch. All right.
Let me ask you: has he fought since then?
I don't know.
He fought. Damian
he lost
Maia
again.
Got choked out.
He's never really won a fight.
Because they say, well, you're different after you get
And he's got a bum hip.
He fucking didn't beat Robbie Lawler either. But anyway.
Are we running through all the questions? Because there's a ton of them.
Got a lot, yeah. But they're quick. We stay focused.
Yes,
stay focused. I didn't understand this one. This is from our boy Jerry.
Now you're gonna make us
yeah.
How do you feel when you see people wearing plastic gloves in public after you just rolled?
I think he's intimating the fact that, since we're doing jiu-jitsu and we're basically doing jiu-jitsu maskless, breathing on each other, when we go out in polite society where people are wearing masks and gloves, how do you feel about, I guess, what you would consider their weakness?
Yeah, I feel like they're weak.
Yeah, I think they're over exaggerating what the issue is when they're not protecting themselves that much more by wearing gloves than not wearing gloves.
I feel like they should be rolling, not wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. I could care less.
I never thought about it.
I don't care. Like, I really don't care.
I think it's ridiculous. When I see somebody in public wearing gloves, I just consider them to be weak.
Yeah, usually think it's winter, but
me. I'm just like, oh, look at this guy, rubber gloves on. I don't give a fuck.
I haven't seen anybody with gloves on dumb long.
I haven't either.
Yeah,
I haven't seen a person with gloves on since like the height of this shit.
At the middle of it, I saw somebody at the supermarket at Wegmans, face shield, mask, gloves, like goggles.
Oh yeah. I mean, back then it was kind of like the doomsday disease, so we didn't know what the fuck was going on.
I was looking at people like, yo, back up. Old lady, back up. Get that wheelchair back there, bitch. Come on.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
All right, this is a little bit longer. Why do you guys think sports like football and baseball have more viewership than grappling? I'm obviously biased, but wrestling is way more exciting to watch than baseball, but has a fraction of the viewers. Do you guys think jiu-jitsu will ever get to the viewership of these sports? What could make it happen?
Never.
Just for clarification, so I don't get roasted too bad. I mean ball sports versus grappling sports as a whole for the first part.
No fucking way.
I think grappling sports, I think judo is the most practiced sport in the world. Yes.
What?
From a participant standpoint,
more than soccer?
I think so.
I thought it was behind soccer.
No way.
It's close to soccer. So even if I'm
internationally, it's huge.
Soccer is the biggest sport in the world.
Judo, I think, is number 2 behind soccer.
So pretty close, right? But I don't think so. Judo will never be watched like soccer is watched. Wrestling will never be. It's just
no.
You have to do the sport usually to watch it.
Right.
The UFC now has become an outlier. They've become more production based, more kind of hoopla, I guess you want to say.
The UFC, I think, is the striking is what gets people in.
Yes, grappling. You don't want to, even though people love Khabib.
They grow to like grappling, but unless you train grappling, you don't watch grappling. You wouldn't even
understand. It's tough to understand, right? You see a guy get kneed in the face like Askren when he went up against the Cuban missile, and you understand why he lost that fight.
The answer is simpler than that, though. The reason why is because there's something wrong with people who watch fighting. The average person does not have the same interest in who can beat who in a fight. I've discovered that as I got older, that people like some of my friends, they don't have the same pride in like that they could like take a guy or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So people really do have more pride on like, I'm nice with the basketball. Like you saw how he did the 360. They like that more than a crazy knockout.
But could it also be because when I was coming up, we all watched boxing, worldwide of sports. You could see championship fights on free TV. Mm-hmm. And then the dynamic changed to pay-per-view, and they put it behind a paywall. And I think that also took away a lot of the fandom, right? Where they said, we only care about the fan that's willing to pay to see this fight, not the fan that's just willing to put eyeballs on it.
But for the last, 15 years, fights have been basically free on TV. You've got reality shows where people fight, and I'm talking about literally like to get in the UFC. PBC boxing has been free on Fox and all these channels.
Also, look at how much it's grown in the last 15 years. So it got taken away,
and now it's been given
brought back for 15 years. And in those 15 years, it's gone from an underground thing to it went from barely being able to get shown on pay-per-view to being.
You're talking about the UFC part,
or just even both of it, right? Like now, if everybody was always like, boxing's gonna die, it's dead, it's not going anywhere, right? But I think the more
going down.
No, it doesn't. HBO boxing doesn't exist. That's a crazy thing to say,
right?
It's insane to be like you don't have a place for like Jim Lampley or whatever. Like he can't get it. Like it's
Larry
done.
Merchant, more important.
Yeah, Larry Dirt Merchant.
Yeah, it's like
I don't know. Is he?
You don't claim him?
Yeah,
he was. He was.
But so yeah, I think the IQ for grappling needs to be so much higher for the fan that it's mainly participants that would watch it as a fan.
It's
or
boring.
former participants.
The question is, will grappling ever get that big? Right.
Not
Never.
yet.
No.
This boring. My girl be like, oh, those some punches. Like, what are they doing?
Yeah, and you have to do it to like it.
Yeah, it's like you don't see right there. What he's trying to get.
Yeah, but do you have like Jerry,
know somebody,
my accountant who owns the Village Roadhouse in Skokie, Illinois. Shout out the Village Roadhouse.
Shout out the best chickens.
He's a huge jiu-jitsu fan.
Right, but you have to know. You have to do it or know somebody.
Yeah, that's true. He's connected to us. Right.
All right, so we'll get to a couple of these other questions next week. But I didn't understand what this was. Did you add this?
What is it?
About this guy being exonerated for murder?
Yeah, so this was his question.
So his question was, do you make eye contact in no-gi? So this is some weirdo making a...
his name is OGD on Facebook, but it's actually Mike Castro, who was exonerated for murder.
So Mike Castro, the exonerated murderer, sent us this.
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Well, I don't want to make him angry.
No, you know what's funny is you remember the patches that BP had made for you?
No.
He had some heat press patches made for his gi with the Hellfish logo on them. I got Mike Castro to make them. And this was after he had just got like a year after he had gotten released from his second stint for this murder charge.
Yeah. Right.
And I said, hey, just so you know, this guy's coming to visit me in my school if I don't make it. You know, who's the last guy to see me as a joke. He seems like a nice dude, but he was in jail twice for murder, for the being accused and convicted, it looks like, of murder his old business partner in a martial arts school down by the beach in South Jersey. And he was an accomplished kickboxer, apparently.
That's what he says, right?
Muay Thai.
He says that?
Well, I mean, his...
what's the name was this man? What's the main name?
That dude.
That guy.
The guy that guy.
But the question is, do you make eye contact during no-gi?
I don't make eye contact when I grapple.
I only make eye contact unless I have their back.
I don't understand the question. Is this some sort of like?
I think he's intimating that it might be
homosexual.
Maybe.
What? But that's the old joke. It's an old joke.
For real?
But a lot of maybe closeted gay guys make that joke.
Maybe being in prison twice does it to a guy.
So Mike Castro sent this?
Yeah.
And he linked the articles that he was exonerated.
No. I sent them to you so that you would have context of what I was talking about if you didn't know the story.
I know who Mike Castro is.
Oh, I don't know.
Not a guy I would mess with.
I don't know what you know. So that's why I sent you him getting
exonerated.
Yes, Mike.
No, he runs a some sort of like graphic design business around here. Yeah. No, it's really, God bless him for getting.
Mike's a listener?
He shook off.
Apparently,
shook him off. Good for you, Mike.
I've only heard. By the way, Mike, we're only joking.
And I've only
in
heard
case you do have that body.
From the guy that was one of our former students who used to rock with him. They always talked about him in really good light.
Anytime I've interacted with him, he's been good, and I've walked away alive.
And Mike, if you ever need somebody to talk to about this kind of stuff, I've been through it too. So
yeah,
that's why. And there's the reason why I added this stuff to the story, because you and him are the same.
Yeah.